Hey, what's going on everybody? Noah Sanford here. Today's video is a quick review about the Shimano Sedona, in specific 2500 HG FJ. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into this reel review. I have owned a handful of these reels, including this one in specific right here, for about a year now. For those of you who don't know, I'm a professional fishing guide here on Lake Mead, Lake Mojave, and the Colorado River, just outside of the Las Vegas, Nevada area. It's what I do full time, and what that means is since I have a couple of these reels in the rotation on my boat for the rods and reels that my clients use on a daily basis, these reels, these Shimano Sedonas, see almost daily use and have seen almost daily use for about a year. So I've got easily 300 or 400 plus hours behind each one of these Sedonas because I do have a couple of them on a few of the rod and reel setups that we use out on these charter trips. Point being, I've definitely put these reels through the ringer over the last year. And so I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about what I think after a year of almost daily use, whether it's something you should consider buying, and my overall thoughts and impressions after using this reel for a good amount of time. So going straight off of Shimano's website, they really advertise three main things about this reel, which are really good qualities for the price point. So one is going to be the fact that it has that Hagane exterior material. Now basically what that means is just the materials that they use on this reel, very solid feeling, heavy duty outside material that has definitely withheld all of the elements that we have been putting it through. Everything from dropping it in the water and saving it last minute, everything from people stepping on it, smashing it against the side of the boat. These reels have been absolutely abused on my boat for the last year, and that Hagane outside material has definitely held up well. The second thing that they really drive home is their line propulsion management system. That's basically just the angle of the lip on the top of the spool here. Basically what they're saying is the way that they've designed that lip on the top of the spool gives you superior casting distance, less resistance as the line is coming off of the spool. The third thing that they really talk about as well is the silent drive technology. That's basically all the internal components in this reel. It's going to give you a smoother reeling experience. It's going to create less wobble in the reel handle. Obviously, hence the name silent drive. It is going to be a quieter drive with that handle. Overall, what they're saying is they've put a lot of their higher end features from their higher end price point reels into this $79 price point reel, and they've really made it the best bang for your buck when it comes to how much money you're paying and all the features that you get. So now that we've covered kind of what this reel is about, I kind of want to go ahead and talk to you about my pros and cons with this reel. So some of the pros that I really enjoy about this reel, after a year of use, it is still very, very smooth. Now, considering that I've put hundreds of hours behind this reel in specific and a couple others, we are starting to see some wear on the body, but really not a whole lot. I mean, you're gonna get some very minor scratches throughout this just from daily use in and out on the water. It's held up pretty dang well though. The actual handle does have a little bit of wobble going now. I don't know how well you can see that, but basically, see that tiny little bit of wobble. There is just a little bit of play on that handle. You might be able to hear it right here next to the mic. But it's not very much. I mean, there's a tiny bit of play in that handle, which for how much time and abuse that these reels have seen in the last year, it's completely expected, especially for a $79 reel. I'm still very impressed with how tight and silent this reel still is on the water. The stop and start inertia is very smooth and it's pretty light for a $79 reel. It's very impressive. It starts up and stops on a dime still, even after hundreds of hours of use, which is very impressive. The actual bail is still very functional, very tactile. It doesn't feel mushy at all. You can hear it right there. It's still very tactile, not only when you open it and close it manually, but if you open it and start by reeling it, it still closes very, very smoothly. It doesn't give you any issues hanging up. Sometimes in the past with cheaper reels, what you'll find is you'll open up that bail and then go to start reeling and it'll either stick right there or you'll go to stop it and it'll kind of like close halfway and just get caught up. You can definitely still open that bail and engage it by turning the handle every single time, no problem. So pretty impressed, guys. Overall, after a year, it's held up really well. Now that we've kind of gone over the real life applications for the reel, what I've thought about it, how it's held up over the last year with real life use, let's go ahead and pull some specs straight from Shimano's website. No matter what size you get, whether you get a 500, 5,000, anywhere in between like this 2500, you're going to get a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio. That's pretty standard for most spinning reels. If you don't know what that means, basically every time you make a full rotation with the handle, that spool is going to pick up line. It's going to rotate 6.2 times around the spool. So basically every handle turn you make, it's going to pick up 6.2 times that amount of line around the spool. Let's go ahead and talk about the line retrieve per crank. That's going to be 36 inches. When it comes to line capacity, for monofilament line, 8 pounds is going to get you 140 yards, 10 pounds is going to get you 120 yards. It's got a maximum drag of 20 pounds, so a lot of drag resistance on there. It comes in at 8.5 ounces, so not the lightest reel in the world, but pretty dang light for how cheap this reel is when it comes to price point. Bearings, you get 3+1 bearings, 3 ball bearings and 1 roller bearing. And then the spool is double anodized machine cut for increased line capacity. So it's a very deep spool on there. You can see this one is ready for some new line. It's pretty much empty on the line. I'm actually getting ready to respool it right now. You get a lot of line capacity though. And once again, it's gonna really talk about that propulsion line management system, Super Stopper 2, Fluid Drive 2. All of these are just fancy terms for all the little improvements and tweaks that they make in this reel to make it a better user experience. A couple other things, it's got a reversible handle obviously, so you can use it left or right-handed, and they do advertise the fact that you can use it in saltwater as well. I have not personally tested its use in saltwater. The last year I've been using it has been completely in freshwater, so I can't give much advice there. If anyone does have any experience with this, drop it down in the comments whether or not you've used it in saltwater and how it's held up for you. Overall, guys, that's kind of a basic overview of this reel. A really, really solid reel for the money, right? We're talking about a $79 reel, okay? Sub $100 reel. You're not gonna be out there getting the greatest and latest for all that great technology that Shimano has. However, you do get quite a good bang for your buck with this reel. A year into it with almost daily use and abuse, I'm still very impressed with how smooth, tight, reliable this reel has been. Even the drag is still extremely smooth when we're fighting those bigger fish. You can hear it right now. Nice, tactile, not obnoxious. Very audible, nice, smooth drag. So overall, guys, I don't think you can go wrong. For 79 bucks, I would consider it one of the best options out there on the market for a sub $100 reel that's gonna kind of be a workhorse and do everything from finesse applications all the way to power fishing. I've thrown everything from 6-pound test, little tiny finesse Ned rigs and drop shots on this reel to everything from, I've even had customers throwing 1/2-ounce jigs on this reel. So it can kind of do a little bit of everything if you're looking for that solid sub $100 price point reel. Shimano Sedona FJ, give it a shot. It's probably worth a look. If you guys are interested in purchasing this reel, I do have a link down in the description, the first link there that will take you straight to purchase this reel if you're interested. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you were able to get some good info out of this video. My name's Noah Sanford. We'll see you guys out on the water.